Good evening, vermin. I'm Half-Rat, and welcome to the Victory Film House. Today's film was Jojo Rabbit by Taika Waititi. It starred several humans, very few rabbits, and it was a good little picture. I had a good time watching it, but the whole time I couldn't help myself but think about Joker. I didn't mean to compare them. They're very different on the surface, but they're very similar in a lot of ways. What ways? We'll chew on that on today's episode of The Problematic. Waha! All right, how's that for a tight opening? I mean, is that... Okay, so Jojo Rabbit and Joker are both... Ratrick, why is there a pumpkin in the attic? Oh, when are we?
October 18th, 2019.
October 18th, 2019? We're already halfway through October? 2019 is flying by. Good God. Okay, better get right to the point then. Jojo Rabbit and Joker. All sorts of connections. Let's go through them. Okay, Jojo Rabbit and Joker both have title characters who suffer fantastical delusions shared by the camera. Sorry, I can't get over this pumpkin. Anyway, both films, one film is about the gradual dissolution of an ideological clown, one is about the creation of one. Both movies, obviously, are spelled J-O to start with.
Alfred, stop. Stop, what are you doing?
I'm talking about Jojo Rabbit for the show we're doing, The Problematic.
Obviously, I am aware of what is going on in my attic. I meant to say, didn't we speak about tightening up the formula, my dear boy?
Yeah, but I'm not even out of the intro yet, and you're already interrupting
Your last episode went over 20 minutes. You were rambling all over the place, and the audio levels. My dear child, has anyone spoken to you about those audio levels?
Do you have, like, a note?
In fact, I have exactly that. Instead of rambling through the countless similarities between the two films like some sort of rotting Venn diagram, why don't you lean into this YouTube format here and do a cheeky little list?
You want me to do a list?
That's right, Half-Rat. Make a little list. Focus it up. That's my note. Toodaloo.
I hate lists. Lists are bad. Just ask the people in Jojo Rabbit. Oh, you're gone. Okay, well, before I do anything or don't do anything, we should probably summarize the movie first. And as always, for a summary of the film, we will cut to Camembert. And beware of spoilers, because Camembert's some cheese and it'll spoil the movie. Do you get that, Mr. Pumpkin? What I'm trying to do there?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Camembert. Jojo Rabbit is the story of a bad little Nazi boy who must learn to tie shoes. Fin.
Thank you, Camembert. Now, obviously, it's impossible to say one work of art is any better than another, but on a basic technical level, Jojo Rabbit is more precise than Joker. The meaning audiences derive from Joker will be more informed by what individual context the viewer brings to the film as opposed to the intentions of the author, specifically Todd Phillips. Jojo Rabbit, on the other paw, is far more articulate in its use of story, structure, cinema, and therefore the audience is more likely to derive meaning intended by its maker, specifically Taika Waititi. And if it sounds like I'm being a pretentious asshole, remember, I'm just a rat stuck in an attic with nothing better to do. So, with that in mind, here are 5 ways Jojo Rabbit wins where Joker fails. All right. Both films are character studies. Each film begins with a shot of the protagonist in a mirror. Every shot of every film is important. Yes, every frame a painting, blah, blah, blah. But the first shot of the film is very special. It has the heaviest lifting. In both films, we are given a full view of our main character studying themselves. Jojo speaks to himself and Hitler alone in his room. We learn that he is an ambitious little fascist as he speaks directly into the camera. The final shot of the film is also of Jojo staring into the camera, but now he's outside, not alone, with his new kind of sister that he wants to smooch. I almost said smister. No, his sister he wants to smooch. Anyway, the final moment is in clear conversation with the first because the film is focused and well made. Now let's look at the first and last shot of Joker. So, First, Joker cries and puts on makeup because he's a very sad clown. We hear stressful news on the radio. We watch this broken man cope with himself by literally applying a mask to himself to cover his anguish. This is good. The first shot crawls towards the clown slowly. It's followed by a series of close-ups. This is good stuff. The final moment, it's a long shot of an empty hallway. Okay, how does this shot relate to the first? Technically speaking, it's actually in conversation with King of Comedy, that Martin Scorsese film, the one from the 70s that's better. So, I mean, maybe you could say that, like the Joker puts on his mask, the film adopted a more cartoonish and stylistic way to end it. I don't know. No, win for Jojo. This one's a win for Jojo. Number 2. Both films are dark political comedies. Alright, I don't feel like I need to explain this one very much. Joker is a dark political thriller as well as it is a dark comedy and a dark character study. It's just a dark, scary clown movie. Todd Phillips said that he made the film for modern audiences that couldn't handle a joke anymore. Ratrick, do you want to throw that quote up on the screen where Todd Phillips comes at modern audiences for not being able to handle things because they're too woke nowadays? Just put it up on the screen and cut this part out.
Okay, I won't forget.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, where was I? Oh, poopy, I can't remember. Number 3. Jojo Rabbit and Joker are both adaptations. Jojo Rabbit is based off the novel Caging Skies by Christine Lunan, a Jewish author from New Zealand who wrote her book in an attempt to explore how young humans give in to hatred. Her book is much darker than the film, with several key differences. For example, there is no imaginary Hitler character, and after Jojo lies to Elsa about who won the war, he actually keeps her hidden away to himself for a few extra years. Screwed up little kid. Joker is an adaptation of several comic books, but if I have to talk about them anymore, I will find a way to get myself out of this trap, reset this scary spring arm thing, and I will have myself completely once and for all so I never have to talk about this motherfucking clown again!
Still 2 more points about Joker.
Number 4. Jojo Rabbit and Joker both share perspective with the camera. The camera in Joker is limited to the protagonist and subject to his delusions, yes. The audience is led to question what is really real, yes. But the film also presents a montage where it shows the audience exactly what was really happening the entire time. So, that's easy. Kind of takes away any idea of an unreliable narrator. So yes, the character Joker is all alienated by society, whatever, but we can pretty much beat for beat tell what is real and what isn't. The camera may be unreliable and the script is told in a limited first-person perspective style, but the technical elements of Joker are never really in line with the character, emotionally. Jojo Rabbit, on the other hand, locks its camera into the perspective of its little Nazi throughout the entire film. Beyond being able to just see what Jojo can, like fake Hitler eating a unicorn head, the camera in Jojo Rabbit emulates his emotional state using the conventions of the cinematic form to best convey them to the audience. For example, in the moment when Jojo discovers that a young Jewish girl lives in his house, the film formally adopts the conventions of a horror film: camera angles, soundtrack, visual cues. The character of Jojo is anti-Semitic and the camera shares his perspective, even if the film is critical of the bad little boy. As Jojo grows out of his little fashy fifis, the camera does as well, and this transformation is experienced by the viewer. Because the relationship between camera and character is so clearly established, and because we are never lost in any trendy ambiguity like we are in Joker, we have time to forge some meaning for ourselves. But human peoples, and I'm saying this mostly based off the conversations I hear when humans are having their pee-pee breaks from the movie, but peoples don't like to talk about meaning and metaphor. They like to talk about what really happened or didn't happen, bro. What plot holes happened and why things didn't actually make sense, bro. And, those are some dry, unsalted, pedantic peanuts, bro, I tell you what, and we're allergic to them and the problematic. That isn't to say that people haven't made lots of meaning out of the Joker. They have, and will continue to. It communicated with people on a visceral and kinetic wavelength, but, like I said, the meaning they made was always informed by their own individual context. People wildly disagree about what the movie is trying to say, and that's in large part because it was made sloppily. Number 5. Both movies lose their mommies.
Hey, Half-a-Rat, whatever happened to your mother?
My mother? What are you talking about? aren't you supposed to be behind the camera right now?
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Anyway, Joker's mother, or maybe mother, is a... What, Ratrick?
I thought you hated lists. What's up with this
I
list?
do hate lists, but that's what we have to do right now. Now, go on and get behind the camera. Go on. Get.
Okay.
Get.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Anyway, both movies' mommies die, and...
Ratrick.
What, Ratrick?
I'm the Joker. Nah.
Okay, what's going on here? Are you, like, trying to distract me?
Maybe I'm trying to distract you. I thought you would get sidetracked, so I went and made a hot little take about Jojo Rabbit I was hoping to do.
Buddy, we talked about this. We need to tighten up the script and the formula, you know? We're just gonna stay in our lanes this time, okay?
Yeah,
Lord
okay,
Michaels will produce, I'll host, and you'll just record and edit them. You okay with that, buddy? You okay with just being our cute little editor?
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Half-a-Rat. I'll just edit them then.
That's all right. Number 5. Both
Hi, friends. Ratrick here, and on today's episode of The Problematic, we'll talk about the music of Jojo Rabbit. Yeah! The opening of Jojo Rabbit combines a classic Beatles song, I Wanna Hold Your Hand, with imagery of Nazi youth jubilantly celebrating Adolf Hitler. The montage is evocative of when the Beatles came to America and were met with packs of wild and crazy humans so raucous it was impossible to hear the music over the screens. While Beatles and humans are both objectively terrifying, Jojo Rabbit is not suggesting that music made by Beatles is fascist. The film does suggest, however, that the boundless energy of young human pups is easily co-opted and corrupted by ideologies just as it can be by a musical or cultural entity. This metaphor, while poignant and entertaining, conveniently sidesteps the hard truths belonging to the subject matter and becomes confusing when we consider the final song of the film is a German rendition of We Can Be Heroes by David Bowie. Jojo has gotten over his celebrity crush on Hitler, a Beatles fan no more.
Fuck off, Hitler.
Although Jojo has outgrown certain toxic ideas, he is still a child. Not soon before this, he lied to his sister crush about the outcome of the war. Also, he stabbed her. If Jojo is just dancing to a new musical idol at the end of the film, what real change or growth has occurred? The paradigm shift undergone by Germany and Jojo are reflected in the updated musical choice. David Bowie follows the Beatles in a very loose timeline of British rock and roll. While this is a happy ending for Jojo and Germany and music in general, something was missed by director Taika Waititi. The new musical mode represents a new ideology, assumed by the title character and so shared by the audience. What is this new ideology? Formed in the lie of a child, based in the delusion that he could be loved by the very person he has oppressed, subjugated, and assaulted. This is an ideology of equal parts hope and avoidance. I would argue it is an American ideology. Even though the director is from New Zealand, based off a book of a New Zealand author, and it's set in Germany. But I'm an American rat, so that's how I see it.
I'll wish and the thunderclouds will vanish. Wish and the storm will fade.
What does real change look like, and how can music inspire revolution without absorbing the energy for it? Does Jojo Rabbit, as a work of art, inspire enough to instruct viewers out of toxicity, or does it reward them for being on the proper side of an ideology? Is art supposed to inspire, or is it enough to entertain? Maybe, one day, we'll find an answer to one of these questions in The Problematic. Thanks for listening to me, Ratrick, and now, back to Half-a-Rat.
My mommy's not. I'm gonna visit. I'm in and out. I just want to see my mommy. Oh, sorry. I lost track of my train of thought. Hey, if you like this video, be sure to come back in November. Lots of big movies coming out in November 2019, and we'll watch them all in the Victory Filmhouse, and we'll review them. So like and subscribe, hit the hit the bell, and, you only get one mommy. That's what half rats. Okay.